What is good, everybody, man? Welcome back into the Blue Bloods as we continue our FCS player spotlight for the 2023 season. And we're joined by my guy, Antoine Williams, new Western Carolina linebacker. Listen, this guy has already done it all, is a preseason FCS All-American for the Blue Bloods last season, earned FCS All-American honors from the Blue Bloods and FCS Stats Perform, was a Buck Buchanan Award finalist, Hero Sports Sophomore All-American, consensus first team All-Conference selection in the ASUN at Austin Peay, man. Antoine, appreciate you hopping on the show, man.
I really appreciate you having me. It's great opportunity. I love your show. Y'all been keeping up with me, and I'm always keeping up with y'all. Y'all really have a voice of the FCS. I appreciate y'all for even giving me the chance to be on your show.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Hey, the first time we've heard that, man, so I'll definitely take that, man. Shout out to Craig, Haley, and Sam, man, doing big things in the FCS world too. But man, we were just talking a little bit about the winning back-to-back state championships. You were named the Trussville Tribune Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, you did it all in high school, man. When you look back at your recruiting process, did you feel a little bit overlooked?
I always felt a little overlooked, but I don't really pay too much attention and all that. I just focus on the opportunities that are ahead of me. When I felt under recruited, as you can say, but then I got the opportunity to walk on at Austin Peay, and the rest is just history from there. Like the opportunity I was blessed with just made everything play out how it's been playing out.
You just talked about your decision to walk on at Austin Peay, man. What was, looking back now with some hindsight, what was the biggest challenge for you coming in as a walk on?
Basically, the biggest challenge for me would be earning my name, trying to make a name for myself on the field, find whatever way I can to help the team be productive, be a better team, whichever way I can. And I feel like coming in as a freshman, you walk on, not too many people gonna really think you the big shot, the big star, or All-American. But if you just go to work day by day, it's gonna eventually you eventually reap what you sow.
You came in, you saw action in a handful of games your first season. You play in all 11 the next year in some limited action, man. But 2022 was really your coming out party. When you look at your just game and development, what clicked in 2022 for you?
Really, I feel like our defense coordinator, he just put me in great positions this past year. He gave me that they believed in me, trusted in me. Coach Capis, he trusted in me to be on the field. So they put me on the field. I started out every game this past year, and he's a great coordinator. I know he's a great coordinator, and he put me in those positions to make plays. I just had to make them when it come down to it.
Which game last year, when you look, I think the you start out the season with, if I'm not mistaken, 14 or 15 tackles in the very first game. You explode against Alabama A&M, and you win the Player of the Week in against Murray, I want to say, with 4 tackles for loss. Which game for you did you know it was just going to be that type of season?
I got to go with the first game of the season. If you drop 14, 15 tackles, you start feeling yourself a little bit, but you got to stay humble, all the time. But after that game, I was like, I got the pace and understanding of the game. So that was my first game starting, especially playing like heavy snaps on defense. So to me, it felt like practice. Like it wasn't too fast. The game didn't feel too fast. So it really calmed me down and prepared me for the rest of the season to do what I was able to do. But if I wasn't locked in that first game, the rest of the games wouldn't have no relation.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at the schedule, I think there's one game that stands out, man. You go out there and put up 10 tackles against Alabama on the road in Bryant-Denny, man. Talk a little bit about that game, and were you going in looking at it as like, man, this is the game I got to put on film for the next level?
Of course, like that's all you think about is your ways to get to the next level. Sometimes when you get into all that and who you play, so playing them was big because I'm from Alabama. A lot of my people got to come to the game, and that was real nice for me. And just playing, like growing up in Alabama, you think about playing in Bryant-Denny or Jordan Hare Stadium, and just being able to feel that atmosphere, see some with like playing against the Heisman Trophy winner, one of the greatest coaches of all time. You don't really, not everybody get those chances, those opportunities that the team we was given. Like, not too many people enjoy those things, so I really got to enjoy it. And then it kind of gave me it was circled on the calendar before the season because they the face of football. So of course this game, right? If you play good, you look good against them. Like, that'll be your competition in the NFL because they send people to the league. So I was trying to just earn my own name there.
You definitely did that. I know you were posting a lot of those clips from that game on your social media after that one. When you look at your decision to transfer, man, walk me through just your decision on that. And now looking back, before we get into why you picked Western Carolina, what was the recruiting experience like being one of the top guys in the portal?
Um, it really is kind of like high school all over again. Like you said, I felt a little under recruited, but I then started talking to more schools, trying to see what was the best fit for me. And I went on a couple of different visits, and eventually, the more I was learning to be patient. I learned patience this whole time. Being patient, eventually you'll get the right fit for you. And I felt like it really wasn't no reason to ever just jump at the first thing that comes my way.
When you look at what Western Carolina's building, and I got to talk to Coach Bell at SoCon Media Day last year, man, and he is he's fun to talk to, man. You can tell like that I could get why they're recruiting at such a high level, and he's building a great program. What was it about Western Carolina for you though that sold you that that's the place that you want to end your career at?
Like you said, Coach Bell, he's an amazing coach. Like, I can tell just from talking to him the day I had visited up there. He's just a great man. He really stuck out to me. But I have to say, like, pretty much all the coaches was what stuck out to me the most. The coaches, I had a couple players reach out to me, but I really think the coaches, they have a young staff, and their staff very energetic, and I feel like they're very understanding, and they'll be a great staff to work for them. Like, you want coaches that make it easy for you to play for them, and I feel like that's what they the best coaches right now for me.
Man, I got energized just talking to him, and I think last year you saw a huge improvement just overall in that team. And I know defensively is a spot they wanted to take a step forward, man. So landing you was a huge deal for them because they got the secondary pieces, man. But I feel like coming together now with that linebacker spot is huge for them. But looking at Coach Scales, man, as a defensive coordinator, talking to him, how do you project to fit into that defensive scheme?
Uh, Talking to Coach Scales, I feel like I'll fit in the scheme just by doing what I've did the past season, continuing to contribute to the team, trying to do what's the best for the team. Being with them, I expect to go out there and tackle, whether that's sacks, TFLs, no matter what it is. I plan on trying to make as many tackles as I can.
You last season had the All-American honors, you Buck Buchanan Award finalist. What are your personal goals for the 2023 season?
My personal goals is mainly to have a healthy season, another good season, and keep my head down, keep working, keep trying to earn my respect for whatever. Like, I just try my best to keep working, keep knocking down the tree. Like, at the end, at one point, the season gonna come to an end, and the next season coming. So, like, you can win all your awards, or I can win all the awards last year. And that's what I realized about being in the portal. I could have won all those awards last year, still been in the portal, missed this season. So it's really humbling. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that, man, because I've seen too many guys. Like, I was talking a few days ago with another player who also went to the portal. He was like, "Man, I see too many guys who all American, all conference award winners, and they're sitting in the portal, and there ain't no spots for them right now." So I know that's a difficult decision. Looking at your game though, man, you come in, walk on, you earn your way to All American. You're about to try to go back to back with that. Looking at your on-field performance, what's the biggest developmental change you've noticed from true freshman year until now?
knowing about the game, of course, the when I first got to Austin Peay, they had a great staff, a great defensive scheme, great defensive mind, and just knowing the game, learning why what why we run the defense we in basically, and why we do what we do. It helps me really process everything, slow the game down. It helps me learn. Like recently, I started learning other positions. Like I learned what the safety doing, the cornerbacks doing, and it helped slow. It made the game slow for me because it helps me learn how other teams will attack me in the game. So I really appreciate those coaches for that knowledge of helping me, like, like no athleticism wise, just straight learning the game and how to process and break down the game to make it slower for me.
I think one of the biggest changes that I've noticed just talking to players and myself is as you get throughout your career, the film study just gets heavier and heavier and more in depth. For you being a linebacker, man, I feel like that's one of the positions where film study is so crucial to what you do on game day. How have your film study habits and techniques changed throughout your collegiate career?
See, I feel like I'm wired. I enjoy film study. I promise. I just sit there in my free time. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm cut on some film. So really breaking down film, you start picking. The more you watch, you gotta watch it because the more you watch it, the more things you pay attention to, the more like signals you get to steal. I'm big on that. Like as a player, you learn from stances, signals, everything, even just a head nod. That'll help you out. Any tips you can steal on the field, you need to get them because that could be the advantage. That could be your 4th and 1 play.
Yeah, man. I think when you look at the great linebackers, man, all of them you could say is like they had great game instincts, man. You can't do that unless you know your opponent like the back of your hand, man. But shifting to some quick hitters, man, to let people get to know you, looking at a current or former NFL player, looking at your game, who do you feel like your game models the most?
Current NFL player, I say I have to say Ray Lewis. From the past, I feel like he be everywhere on the field. A lot of people like I feel like he be everywhere on the field, and that's I'm a linebacker. So of course you got to look at one of the greats. I say recently as a linebacker, like as I say Reuben Foster or someone like and somebody like that because they fly around with like no fear at all, and I feel like that's got to be a part of your game. You got to fly around, no fear at all, ready to attack, and you got to be on that type of level for like full speed, 100% the whole game.
Man, I love that Reuben Foster comparison, man, because I got to see him play. He came down in the playoffs in high school, man. I played McGill, and I went down to that game, and man, he played in that game quarterback, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, edge rusher, and played safety. And I was like, this dude is just a different level of athlete, man. I think you can see that athleticism in your game as well, man. So I really like that comparison, just being, both of us being from the state of Alabama, seeing him come up, but looking at your career, what was your welcome to college moment on the field?
My welcome to college moment probably was because we had a spring season 2021 because we only played like 3 games in the fall at Austin Peay. So I had that spring season. I was I think it was in it was in practice. It was in practice. It was running kind of like inside run, and I had kind of made my first play and it, like got my blood flowing. And then ever since then, I started making more plays, started hearing my name more in meetings, started hearing coaches talk about me more, and it really helped. That was like my welcome to college moment. And really, I can't say a specific game, but a game I remember that really gave me that college atmosphere. We played Ole Miss that season. That season, before last year, we played Ole
Yeah.
Miss, and so being there and like you see the athletes that's projected to go high in the draft. Like you see those bodies, you play against those type of athletes, and it really help you know what you looking to get in your life.
Yeah, man, that Ole Miss game, it was not the spring season, it was the fall 2021 season. I think you guys
Yeah,
played Ole Miss, man. So, and I think a lot of people talk about that where like you got the nerves and you're kind of like in your head a little bit, man. After that first play's over, man, all that adrenaline takes over and all the like all the butterflies, the nerves. It's game time. This I love that. Looking at your game though, man, I'll be honest. Linebackers, DBs get the worst rap on this show with this question, but how big of a trash talker are you on Saturdays in between those white lines?
it's crazy you say that because I don't really talk too much trash on the field because I be quick to look to the sideline for the next play, or if not, I'm dancing. I try my best to not get no penalties, but most of the time, if I make a play, I'm gonna dance. If my teammate make a play, I'm gonna go dance with them. I like to have that energy on the field. Like I know a lot of times you talking trash, especially if we lose and you talking trash, that's not gonna solve the issue. So I try to, and then if we win it, we already win it. So what I'm gonna talk about?
I love the dancing answer, man, because I think you got like as you know, I kind of pay attention to the pictures that are coming out for all the programs. That picture of you at A&M celebrating, I think the tackle for loss or the sack, man, is
Yeah,
one of the coldest pictures of the year.
yeah,
It's got to be, man.
man, I
And
love that picture.
I used it the other day, man. For one of our articles, man. I think it was the one right after you committed to Western Carolina. That was like the cover
Yeah.
picture on the website. I was like, that's still any chance I got to use that picture, man. I'm definitely using that one. But looking one on one, man, in the hole, you versus a running back. What's the number one mistake they can make against you?
Being too high. Being too high. Every time 10 times out of 10, if that running back coming through the whole high, I'm gonna make the tackle, and it's not gonna it's not gonna be pretty. But I say that because I feel like as a linebacker, like you grow up, the only thing you are taught is take his legs out. They can't run no more. Like you stop they running, that's gonna stop their movement. So I try my best to stay low and square up on most of my tackles, try to get them to the ground as quick as possible. And then I feel like I'm just hard to juke. A lot of running backs these days are flashy. Like you have your running backs that are big, they're gonna try to see you in that hole, and but it's a lot that's flashy too.
Looking at your career in college, who outside of excluding Alabama and Ole Miss, I got to just throw that out there because I know that'll be probably the pick there. Who are one or two of the best offensive players you've ever had to face?
Best offensive players. Well, I have to give credit to Jalen Ellis. I didn't play against him in a game, but he's a great quarterback. I give a shout out to all my old teammates because going against them in practice really prepared me for college. But it's been some athletes. We played Alabama A&M. They had a running their running back was real nice. We played UCA. They had two running backs and they O line was great. They had two running backs though. So I say that's I can't remember his name right now, but
At Central Arkansas?
yes, they
Uh,
had running number 4.
Darius Darius Hale.
Yeah, he's I gotta give credit. He's a good running back, great athlete that we played against. I'm trying to think like it's so many games they just go past your mind. We played Jacksonville State. They had great players too.
Yeah.
But I feel like once the once we got into the ASUN, it was a lot more competition. You start seeing those higher levels of talent and athleticism mixed with great coaching. So I feel like this past season was a lot. You start seeing a lot more talent aside from Alabama in those games. So I was just gonna say I can't forget when we played Western Kentucky. Malachi Corley, he's a great
Oh,
athlete
yeah.
too. I had
Yeah.
rewatched that game. Yeah, he had a great season too.
And shout out to my guy Draylon Ellis too, man. That's my dude, man. I got to see him. I was down at Tennessee State for their spring game, man. That's my guy. He didn't get to play because he's dealing with some stuff right now, but that's my dude. I know he's going to go out there and ball out when he gets back on the field for them.
Right.
But man, looking at your career, whether it's this upcoming year or I know you got 2 years of eligibility, when you look at just your journey from walk on to All American to now potentially one of the favorites to win the Buck Buchanan, what would it mean to you to hear your name called in the NFL draft from the FCS?
It would mean everything. The world to me, honestly. It'll show that, like, for me, I feel like I can set an example for others and continue to show that what others have showed me. Like Aubrey Miller from Jackson State getting that chance to just the opportunity to play at the next level. Any chance that comes my way, any pro team, like I feel like that's a blessing, and I'm more than grateful for I'm more than grateful just for the chance I have right now. So hearing my name on that stage, it just means the world to me. I know for sure. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm good for shedding some tears. So that'll be the day everybody see me cry.
Hey, I could just see it now, man. I know you're gonna go viral. That like whatever team gets you, they're gonna have that phone call video that's gonna go viral on Sports Center where everyone's talking about the moment. I would love it though, man. I think that's a great moment to have, regardless. I know that there's been so many of those. I love that you shout out Aubrey, man. He's doing his thing down in Miami for the Dolphins. Probably gonna make that roster as an undrafted free agent. But if an NFL franchise asks you, man, what they're going to get in Antoine Williams if they select you in one of the upcoming NFL drafts, what do you tell them?
I'll tell them they'll get somebody they can trust on the field to know that when it's fourth down, fourth quarter, you need somebody to make the right call, make the right adjustment, the right check. I'll make the right check. I'll make the play as well. But I feel like being somebody your coach can trust, they gonna cater the defense to their players. That's what I feel like those NFL staffs do best. They cater to what they have or what they want or trying to get. And I feel like being trustable, like dependable, the coaches can depend on me. That's the best part about that they can get as from a player.
Man, the final question I know you've done a lot of the personal stuff, man, but how much would it mean to you for this upcoming season or next season to get that conference championship ring, man, with Western Carolina, be on that first team under Kerwin Bell, man, to get that championship?
Talking to them, they was telling me like they already told me what the goals and plans were. So immediately I feel like we connected because they have similar interests. I'm a win. I want to win. Everybody's competitive. Nobody's just playing football just to not win a championship. Everybody wants that chance at the ring. So I look forward to it just for the opportunity because I feel like I'm joining a excited group of guys that's ready to work. I talked to a couple of the players. They seem like they ready to work. They trying to work out. Soon as I get there, they ready to go to work. So that excites me knowing I'm with a bunch of people, a bunch of great people looking forward to trying to win a championship.
So, man, when are you supposed to be getting to campus?
Getting to campus should be early July, like
Okay.
soon. Like I'll be there soon.
I know the Western Carolina fans are pumped, man. But Antoine, like I said before, me and you've been talking back and forth, man, for a while now. So I was glad to finally get you on the show, man. And I know I'll be following you real closely over these next few seasons, man. But it's all about player promotion here. Let people know where they can find you on social media, man. Follow your journey and all that.
My Instagram ant.205, but it's ANTT.205. Um, I don't really have too much other. My Twitter, Antoine, ANTOINEWILL8.
There we go, guys. Make sure to go follow Antoine on all social media, man. One of the best linebackers in the country, preseason FCS All-American for not just the Blue Bloods, but I'm assuming multiple other publications as well, man. But for Antoine Williams, for myself, and for the Blue Bloods guys, we are out for right now.